Okay. Hi, guys. So we are in chapter 3. This is the second day of chapter 3.1, and we are talking about what a graph does when the arrows go in one direction. And maybe the graph has lots of like ups and downs and turns in the middle of it. The exponent of the polynomial is a big deal. That matters. And it also matters if the first number is positive or negative. So 3.1b is going to talk about more specifically, what does the graph look like? Okay. So down at the bottom of the paper, you have all of this. And this is like helpful tools that you need to know. Remember that f of x means y equals. So f of x means y. Okay. So up here, what we're going to do in this section is just draw little sample images. So I'm going to talk to you about like what's the sign of this. The first number is what I care about. What's the sign of that 2? Positive. And what's the exponent? Odd or even?
Even.
So this is going to be positive. I'll just put pause, even. So I just want to do a sample picture. I don't really know for sure where it crosses. I haven't factored it. I don't know these zeros yet. But just approximately, it would be something like this. Right? Doesn't positive even, look at the bottom of your paper. Is that what positive even looks like? The arrows go up, up.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah. All right. This next one. Leading coefficient is positive. Exponent is what? This is a fourth power, guys.
It's definitely even.
Even.
You sure with
but it's a fourth power. Remember yesterday how I told you that fourth power would have some little movement in the middle? Some turning points? Okay, so that's good. The third one here. This is positive. Odd. Positive odd. Look at the bottom of your paper. It's also right here. Looks like this.
Positive odd.
So maybe like, it could be like that. It could be like this. It could be like.
Could there be like a bunch of wiggles?
It could be a bunch of wiggles if it's like a fifth exponent to the seventh power, to the ninth power. The bigger the number, the more, I don't know, wiggles, movement, turning points. Here's a fifth power, positive, odd. So that's going to have more in the middle because it's fifth power. Remember, it's got to cross 5 times.
Dang.
These are not perfect. This is not Desmos. I'm just saying approximately it would be something like this. Here we go. Now we're on to negative. Negative, even.
Ooh. I mean, said a bad word.
Negative even is going to be down, down, down. Like that. Everything you do, my microphone is right there, I can hear.
Oh, shoot, sorry.
This is going to be negative, also even. Fourth power though, guys. Lots is happening. I want down, down arrows. Something like that. I don't know how high or low the curves go because this is not Desmos. Just approximate. The bottom ones. Negative, odd. Does this seem pretty easy? You're just looking at the exponent. And then you're looking at, is it positive or negative? And you're drawing the shape. Negative odd would be this, like that. Negative odd. Last one, what is it? Negative odd. It's to the 5th power. There's going to be lots going on in there. But I need like it to end up like this. So I did my arrows first, and in the middle is going to be lots of movement. Turning points. Okay. Down at the bottom, this is exactly what's been on the board, so you have another resource for that. So are you okay with this? You could do more by yourself if I gave you, and all you had to do was draw where the arrows go. Okay. So I get to get a little more specific now. And I get to find out exactly where does it cross. What numbers does it cross on? I did the first one for you. So instead of f of x, I could write 0 equals. It's interchangeable. You can do that. I factored. I got my 2 parentheses. And then, is this true? You can do this, right? We did this last year. X equals -4 and x equals +3. And look, I plotted it. X equals -4, x equals +3. So that means that that's where the line, the x-intercepts, where it will be. Let's factor the next one. Just on first glance, is there anything you notice about number 7? Well, x. GCF out an x. Okay, write the leftovers. X cubed divided out an x. X squared. -10x squared divide out an x is what? -10x. 25x divide out an x. Plus 25, thank you. Okay, you're not done. Because I need to know what is my x equals. I need my parentheses. What is the factors? What multiplies to make 25 and adds up to -10? Yeah, because look, my last -5 times -5 is +25. And obviously x times x makes the x squared. You could check the outer inner. Remember the outer inner? -5, -5. That makes -10. So, set everything equal to 0 and solve. This is x equals 0. This is x equals 5. This is x equals 5. These are my zeros, my roots, my x-intercepts, my solutions. It's where my line's going to cross over here. I got to plot those points. I want you to make a dot at 0. I want you to make a dot at 5. Only one time there's a 5. Make an ordered pair dot at 0. And then count 5 over. Okay, this is odd positive. Odd positive looks like this. So I want you to draw this shape, but you have to go through those 2 dots. I don't care how high or low you go, but you got to make this shape. So play around with it. This is what the shape looks like, but you have to hit those 2 points. What would it do in there, in the middle? What would it do? Just try, erase if you don't think you got it right. No one knows how tall it'll be. I don't care right now how tall it is. Just make an approximate that shape. Yeah. 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 So you could do this. Here's an idea. You could go like this and not go very high. You could do like super crazy with a dip in the middle there. Lots of options. We don't know exactly because we're not using Desmos. But you're getting a general idea. My solutions. x-intercepts, roots, zeros, we're at 0 and 5. Number 8. Oh, there's a problem with number 8. What don't I like about number 8? You've already helped, Bradley. Yes, whoever said the word negative is right. Please GCF out the negative. Change the signs of everything inside. And now factor it. Something that multiplies to make 40 and adds up to positive 3. So obviously, x squared is made from x times x. Okay, 40, guys. Here we go. 1 times 40. Does that make 3? No. How about 2 times 20? Does that make 3? How about 10 times 4? Does that make 3? What? What else? Oh, 8 and 5. Does that make 3? Okay. So it doesn't matter if you put the 5 first or the 8 first. This is what I've practiced with you. Outer, inner. Remember how I want it to be a negative 3? 8x and 5x. How do I get a negative 3 for my outer, inner? Which number should be positive? Which number should be negative? Negative 5, positive 8. That's true. Put a negative in front of the 5. So you don't need the X method, guys. Because guess what? When you're 19 years old and sitting in a math college class, are you going to sit there and go, what was that thing Miss Grant taught me about factoring? Like it was an X. I don't know what to put where. It's just a little gimmick that I taught you. I need you to know you can find it outer, inner. 5x and 8x. Make it 3 somehow. 5 times 8. Last makes 40. Last 40. Okay? So here's my parentheses. X minus 5, x plus 8. Set each thing equal to 0. Obviously, I can do nothing with the negative sign. X equals positive 5, and x equals negative 8. True? Those are my x-intercepts, solutions, roots. Can you please put a dot at 5 on the x-axis? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Can you also put a dot at negative 8? This is negative even, right? Negative even is this. True? Your graph needs to go through those 2 dots, but the arrows need to go downward. So draw approximately what you think it would look like. It needs to go down both directions, down, down, but it has to cross those points. Do a sample on your paper. How do you know if it's negative? It's right here, the original. Negative, even. Yeah, the original equation, negative, even. So I don't care how high or low you go right now, just whatever. Huge parabola. But it's negative and even. That's what that looks like. Negative even is right here. Down, down. Okay, so you have to do 9 and 10 for homework. I want to let you know there's a lot to GCF out for number 9, right? And on number 10, it's factoring by grouping. So let me do the first step on the grouping one. It's going to be, look at the first 2. What can you take out from the first 2? Grouping, guys. There's 4 terms. Yeah, I can take out x squared. X plus x squared 1. Look at the last two. What can you take out? A 9, and take out the negative, please. X plus 1. The sign changed. Oh, these are the same. Oh. You're going to have to finish 10 on your own. And plot the points and all. Okay. Before I get into this, I'm going to sorry, people on the video. I have to go to the board. It's much better if I go to the board. Okay. But you can listen. People that are watching the video right now, listen to the words I'm saying, and I'll describe in words what it looks like. Okay. If I want you to graph 2x plus 1, what's the exponent on this x? What's the exponent that you see right here, guys? What's that exponent? 1. That is an odd exponent. You know how 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, that's odd, right? 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. Okay, so graph it. Begin at 1. The equation is 2x plus 1. It's linear. Begin at 1. Rise 2, run 1. Down 2, left 1. This crosses my x-axis. It intersects. Doesn't it? Did I cross the x-axis? Okay. But I just never explained it that way before. But today I'm going to. X squared. This is called the parent function. Let's graph y equals x squared, a simple parabola. Don't you do this? Origin at 0, 0. Over 1, up 1. Over 2, up 4. Right? Isn't that what I did with you? Again and again and again last year? Does this cross the x-axis? Is this crossing, guys? No. This is called bouncing. It bounces off of it, or it touches it, but it doesn't cross. An even exponent of 2, of x to the 4th, x to the 6th. Even exponents bounce off. You've known this. I've just never said the word bounce before. You know a parabola bounces. It doesn't touch. Just like touch, up again, bounce off. So right now I'm going to start to talk about crossing and bouncing. Odd exponents are always going to cross. Even exponents are always going to bounce. But you know this because you've been graphing these for 2 years in high school. So this worksheet here, all I care about, ready, look at the exponent of your parentheses. Look at the exponent of your parentheses. If the exponent is odd, what did I say odd exponents do? X to the first, x to the third, x to the fifth. Cross, intersect. Odd exponent, cross, intersect. Even exponents is going to bounce or touch. That would be like x squared, x to the 4th, x to the 6th. Odd would be like if a parentheses, whatever's in the middle, I don't care, is the exponent a 1, that's odd. Is the exponent a 3? That's odd. The line would cross. So right now, on number 1, let's look at the exponents only. It's already factored. It's already factored for me. So right here, what's that going to do? X squared. Is that going to bounce or cross? It's even. It's there, and it's on the top of your paper. Didn't you write it on the top of your paper?
It's going to bounce.
It's going to bounce. What's this 4 going to do? Bounce. What's this? Oh. X plus 5. What's the exponent of x plus 5? 1. Is that going to cross or bounce? Cross, or you could say intersect, whatever. Okay, now, tell me what the zeros are. Bounce, bounce, cross. Okay. Set everything equal to 0. X squared equals 0. What is x going to be? Solve, guys. Set it equal to 0. X squared equals 0. What's my 0 going to be? 0. Its multiplicity is a 2, which is even. I'll make that bigger. So I'm now asking you to talk about something called multiplicity. That's the word on this page. Multiplicity means, does it bounce or does it cross? What's the exponent? And my parentheses is going to tell me. What's the 0 on this one? When you set it equal to 0, x minus 1, what's that? X equals what? X equals 1. Put that as your 0. The 0 is 1. Is it odd or even? The 4. The 4. My multiplicity is 4, which is even. What do evens do? On the top of your paper, what'd you write? Evens bounce. Do you want me to pull the screen down? I mean, you can't see the whole paper, so I don't know. So here's what I'm doing. I'm solving because it's in parentheses, and then I'm looking at the exponent. The exponent is going to tell me if it's going to bounce or cross. What's the last 0 right here? X plus 5. X equals what? Negative 5. What's the exponent? You guys already told me it was a 1. So the 0 is negative 5. The multiplicity is what the exponent is. It's a 1, which is odd. Odd crosses or intersects. You can use either word. Okay, ready? Go to number 2. What's the exponent of negative 2x? What's this exponent right here? You should take a break. 1. That's odd. What's the exponent right here? 2. That's even. Evens bounce. 7 is odd. That crosses. Okay. Now you have to solve it and fill in the chart. Negative 2x equals 0. That ends up being x equals 0. 0 is where I'm going to draw a point. So I'm looking and solving for x. And then you are looking and saying, well, it's a 1. That's odd. And odds cross or intersect. What about 3x plus 1? What's the 0? Set it equals 0. What's the answer? X equals what? 3x plus 1 equals 0. What do you get when you solve for x? Negative 1/3. That's your 0. Negative 1/3. It had an exponent multiplicity of 2. That's even. What does even do? Bounce. This last one, x equals negative 7. This 0 is negative 7. What 7? The multiplicity is 7. That's odd. Odds cross. Okay. So the reason this matters is because I'm going to give you some factored problems on the next page. Turn the page. I already did number 1 for you. And I wrote a little like cheat sheet on the top. Intersect is odd exponents, like a first power or a third power. Bounce is an even exponent, like squared, or that one got cut off, but okay, ready? If my 0 is at here, -1, -2, -3, -4, and my 0 is here, right? Isn't that where it is? At -4, it's supposed to bounce. Do you see how that bounces? Doesn't that look like it's just bounce, touch? Bounce, touch. This at 3, it crosses, right? Cross. You got to figure out which one it is. It's kind of confusing. This is at x equals 3, x equals -4. You guys, they're all the same. So I need to find a 0 at -4 that bounces. I need to find a 0 at -4. Do any of these bounce? At -4, is this bouncing off or intersecting? Because that's the first power on A. I wrote it. It says intersect. I don't want that one. At -4, it has to bounce. Bounce means second power, fourth power, sixth power. It's not A. At C, at -4, does it bounce? Guys, what's the exponent? 1. That's an intersection. It's not C. Try this. At -4, is it bouncing? Yes, because that's a squared. Oh, but at 3, is it crossing at 3? That's it, you guys. B is the correct answer. Go to number 2. At -1, it crosses. At 2, it bounces. Okay? So, I need to look here. I only did a couple, but I want there to be a cross at -1 and a bounce at 2. Even exponents mean bounce. Okay, which one is it? At -1, it's supposed to cross. These 3 cross at -1, look. Right? But at 2, I need it to bounce. Oh, this 2 crosses. No, it's not C. This +2 crosses. It's not B. This +2 bounces. Doesn't it supposed to bounce at 2? So I'm matching what a graph looks like to its factored form. The correct answer is D. Your job is to do anything that says HW next to it. You're not doing this last page right here. We'll do that tomorrow together. Anything that says HW is your job, and you're doing it on your own without help. Come see me at break or